All right, so today we're going to do a little bit of a project breakdown, look a little bit further into Helium Mobile and what's happening over there. I think you guys are going to love it. This will be a breakdown. I think that, we've done a couple of these, so make sure and drop a few comments if you do like it. We always appreciate that. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. All right, joining me today is Frank Mong, who is the COO over at Nova Labs. Great to have you back on the show.
Oh, hey, it's great to be back. It's been about a couple of years since we last talked.
Long time, long time. A lot has happened, obviously, with Helium Mobile rolling out. And I wanted to get kind of an update, obviously, for some of our viewers. They maybe don't even know about Helium Mobile. Give us a little bit of a outline of where you guys are today. I know, obviously, the launch here in Miami, but give us kind of an update our audience, so to speak.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, for those that remember, Nova Labs is the company launching Helium Mobile, the service. And our background is been around for 10 years, co-founded by Sean Fanning and Amir Halim. Sean Fanning is known for Napster and companies
Yep.
like that. And Amir Halim's our current CEO. We've been at this for now quite a bit of time. And the main objective for our company has always been to figure out how to build massive wireless networks at extremely large scales. So our first attempt at this was with an IoT network, now known as the Helium IoT network. And that's been open sourced, owned by the community, operated and governed by the Helium Foundation. And so that's going, and that is across like 180 countries, 70,000 some odd cities. At the peak of the network size was roughly close to 1 million hotspots around the world, which is great. And what we've done since open sourcing that is created a new company and essentially changed our name to Nova Labs. Our effort now is taking that same kind of incentive model that's powered by crypto and apply it to cellular networks. And this is where we are today. It gets super interesting. We have launched a service called Helium Mobile, and we've been in beta across the US for some time. We came out of beta in August, and we're now focused on Miami-Dade County in a specific city. And today, Paul, I'm excited to talk to you about our recent announcement of launching the Helium Mobile Hotspot, which is a super easy to install, low cost, people powered cell tower, essentially, that is geared towards small businesses, restaurants, bars, hotels, etc., in Miami-Dade County. And our objective is somewhat similar to Airbnb, Uber, Lyft. We want to connect these Helium Mobile hotspots in these restaurants to Helium Mobile subscribers in that same vicinity. And that's what we're up to.
I was looking at the devices there on the page, very similar, to what you see now. If you think about hotspots that we see from AT&T, et cetera, that are out there, kind of explain the differences between how Helium hotspots would work versus what a traditional carrier like an AT&T or a Verizon, because they have those same kinds of things that work directly off of, regular cell towers in 5G. How does yours work differently?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, ownership. When we talk about asking small businesses to really install these in their shops or in their businesses, they own it. They own this network. They're not participating in this. They're not, renting it or leasing it or subscribing. They actually own the Helium network. And when we talk about people powered cell towers, we're really talking about the fact that we've created this Helium Mobile hotspot. It's like $250, plug and play into your store, into your environment. And now you're sharing your internet access with any Helium Mobile subscriber. And for doing so, you earn a cryptocurrency called Mobile Token. That's your reward for sharing your internet. And that piece right there means you actually own that cell tower. Nova Labs does not own it. Helium doesn't own it. You, business owner, you own and operate that. And you are rewarded for being an owner in this network. And so that's, I think,
Okay,
the
so
key distinction.
right. So with 5G, obviously, most people know these as cell towers all populated around the land. These are essentially going to be hotspots that are connecting to those 5G towers within that network. Does this create a mesh network, or is it like a direct link into each one, or are they talking to each other if you had, a whole slew of
Right.
retailers that had these devices?
Yeah, so the underlying tech on this, right? If you want to get into some details here, it's Wi-Fi technologies, open source protocol, very common, very available, and compatible to all devices that connect to the internet. Now, what and how these operate is that you basically plug this into your existing business internet connection that you have in your shop already. You connect this in. You could use a hardline connection in via Ethernet. You might be able to tether via Wi-Fi, but the preferred method is Ethernet to get that stable connection. And for doing so, you're now essentially listening. So Wi-Fi technology listens for devices and connects with those devices. As a Helium Mobile hotspot subscriber comes into your store or sits outside, they'll automatically connect. You do nothing. That phone, the software, the underlying technology takes care of itself. It connects, and now it's using the internet you're providing. For
Yeah.
doing that, you're earning rewards, and if you are in a location that is highly sought after, lots of foot traffic. It's the community calls this boosted hexes, which really means like you're in the hot spot, quote unquote. Then you're gonna earn like exponentially more rewards
Okay.
for offering a service where there's a lot of demand. So
Hmm.
that's the key.
Yeah, density gets into a big part of that, especially in cell towers, which causes, in some cases, slowdowns, et cetera, that many people, suffer from. All right, so you've got a hotspot extension. Now the business owner becomes almost like a little cell tower owner. They're getting a little bit of juice off of that in the mobile token. Within it, in terms of the device that I have to have for this to work, I'm obviously have to be on the Helium Mobile, but I can use any phone that's on Helium Mobile. And how quickly is this going to expand, Frank?
Yeah. So what works on it? Helium Mobile subscribers, right? So if you go to hellohelium.com and you
Hmm.
subscribe, you'll see like a list of supported phones. It's most modern smartphones. Okay, so it's like any other cell provider. Most modern smartphones will work. And as soon as you subscribe, and let's say you're somewhere in South Beach in Miami, you're hanging out with your friends at one of the hotels. If that hotel or store nearby has a Helium Mobile hotspot, like you just automatically you do nothing from a user
Okay.
perspective as a subscriber. You go on your phone, Instagram, TikTok, you're connected to Helium Mobile Hotspot. You don't do a thing. And if you're a Helium Mobile Hotspot host, you're happy because you've got users coming in and using the internet that you're providing, and you're getting rewarded
Hmm.
for that.
Yeah, I would think carriers would look at this as a benefit because it does extend, the network out quite efficiently. When you look at that kind of scenario, density, will that matter? Much like a regular cell tower that is a 5G cell tower matter?
Absolutely. One of the, we can get a little bit technical here with Wi-Fi. One of the things about Wi-Fi technology is that it's great bandwidth, right? We all know this. You're on Wi-Fi, it's great. Lots of video streaming, etc. The downside to that is range. You get a lot of bandwidth, but you get really short range. And so density does matter. And I feel like it depends on, like, again, the physics of the space. Are you surrounded by metal? Are you covered in water? There are trees and leaves everywhere. Those are all like bad things for any kind of signal propagation. So if you want
Hmm.
signals to go far, you don't want metal nearby. You don't want water and like organic matter nearby because those things are insulators and they block signals. But if you happen to have great views into lots of places and you're high up in the world, your shop is perfectly placed and you have people all around you, that's fantastic. So if you
Yeah.
think about what this does, right, this enables every small business owner essentially to become a cell tower provider. There are large conglomerates that do this today. They're called American Tower and Crown
Hmm.
Castle. Those are the
Yep.
two biggest well-known guys. What we're doing is enabling every single person watching this in Miami to participate now and really get into that business, which is a massive $1 trillion business.
I want to get into, kind of the strategy of rollout here and talk about Helium Mobile as a whole. We've had the mobile
Yeah.
team on here on our show. They've talked about the launch in Miami, Dade County. Uh, when will we see that expand? I look at Dade County and I think, gosh, Broward County right next to it, that could easily launch. You're going to grab another 4 million people. the density level, and then you go up all the South Florida coast here all the way into West Palm. There's a lot of expansion opportunity. Was that one of the reasons you guys selected this area?
Well, we selected Miami because the community voted overwhelmingly for Miami. We
Okay.
actually asked the Helium community, where do you want us to start with this service? And they voted on Twitter, or X now. And
Yeah.
what we came up with was Miami. So
Very cool.
again, yeah, one of the mantras we follow is, hey, we got to do right by our customers and our community members because they are the biggest force behind the entire Helium ecosystem. And so this was a decision by the community.
So, just for some of you guys may not be aware of this, and in terms of the mobile service here in Miami, those of you watching from Miami, is you've got unlimited voice and data over there, Wi-Fi calling, visual voice, kind of just like any other mobile service that's out there. Frank, when do you
That's right.
think this will start accelerating on to new cities?
Well, first, we got to get Miami right, right? Part of like, if you think about how Uber and Lyft rolled out, how
Hmm.
Airbnb started, they
Yep.
started in one city. They started in sort of one area. And what they did was they figured out supply and demand, all the levers and all the sort of like controls that either incentivize or de incentivize in action. So what we need a network to grow. So we want businesses to participate where there's lots of people, lots of foot traffic, and we want them to set these things up so that they can provide coverage. The other part of this, that's the supply side. The demand side is the subscribers. We are marketing in Miami. You're going to start seeing billboards, radio ads. You're going to start seeing sponsorships with sports teams, all focused in Miami to get the brand out there, to get
Right.
subscribers on board. Once we see traction and we understand what works to build a network, what works to get subscribers on board, then and we can get them to meet, then we've got this whole thing locked in. And once we have that, we can go beyond Miami-Dade County, and that's the idea. Again, we're not like experts in telecommunications or cell service. That's not who we are. We are people that kind of figured out a model that works to build massive wireless networks at scale. And that's what we're trying to do. So a lot of this is us testing, figuring things out as we go. And we'll adapt and adjust very quickly. And I think that's part of our advantage. We're really
Yeah.
good at building consumer friendly things. We apply that to something that's super complicated, like crypto and telco, and we give them a great experience and we move quickly to figure it out and go on and on and on.
So you guys made a big decision leaping over to the Solana blockchain here over the past year. Obviously, the connection there with maybe the first real Web3 phone being the Saga. You look at that kind of effort that's going on within Solana. We've got Breakpoint coming up here. Probably see a lot more, releases at Breakpoint here in the fall. I'm sure you guys have something planned for Breakpoint as well. But when you look at Solana as a chain, and then you look at the opportunity here that they've been able to represent, their partnership here recently with Visa, the massive speed that they have, is that really the core of, at least from a blockchain selection, that really kind of got you guys in that camp?
Yeah, so the Healing Foundation drove that blockchain selection. Again, lots of technical reasons, lots of testing went on there. So I can't really speak to that piece. I'm not the technical guy that's involved with that. What I can say from my own observations of the Solana community in that ecosystem, which we're a part of now, happily, is that they actually have a really amazing blockchain that's purpose built for speed and transaction volume. And that's, if you think about it, that's what we need. We need to be able to transact data, billing by the packet, right? So we're
Right.
talking like billions of packets. And we need to do it extremely quickly. And so
Yeah.
those are, from my perspective, important aspects of the Solana blockchain that I've seen work well for us. Now, it's an added benefit that the Solana ecosystem is incredibly vast and diverse.
Hmm.
That's really cool because what we did at Helium with our own L1 was very, again, purpose built, specific for wireless technology and expansion, not necessarily useful for things like DeFi or NFTs or any other amazing thing that may come down the line. And so what we wanted was, hey, let's just use somebody else's L1 that serves our needs and
Yeah.
attach ourselves to a broader ecosystem so that if someone else finds creativity and our application useful, and we can help with that, great. Take the open source code and go. So that was really what we were going after, was an open source community with folks that iterate quickly in a diverse set of applications and platforms.
Yeah, well, I think we're a big fan of Solana. I love the tech and what they're trying to do. It still has to be proven to be able to handle the scalability. Granted, right now it's very small in terms of the network. Obviously, you guys being one city. As this starts to scale, I think there's an opportunity. Is there anybody that's going to lead it? It's probably most likely going to be Solana out there. So for many business operators that might be watching this show thinking, all right, well, how does this work? The good thing is you can rest assured you're on the right blockchain. So at least that's the first step in the right direction. Frank, I want to dive in a little deeper, though, from a retailer standpoint, whether it's a restaurant, a coffee shop, et cetera. They buy one of these devices, and they now become this little, hotspot owner, cell tower, mini cell tower kind of owner. The benefit for them, it's going to generate revenue I shouldn't say revenue, but it's going to generate rewards coming through the Helium token or the mobile token. When you look at that, is it going to be used the same way that kind of like the IoT network was, all based on the amount of flow going through that particular hotspot, or is it based on proximity? What's the value proposition that each one of these retailers would gain?
Yeah, there's a couple of specifics in there. I think one of the pieces that the retailer can consider is, of course, the reward piece of this, and that's on the crypto side. Now, if you're a small business owner and you don't know what crypto is, and maybe that's not interesting for you, that's okay. I think one of the other benefits, which is a major benefit of hosting a Helium Mobile hotspot, is the fact that we are going to be pushing the Helium Mobile brand and getting demand and subscribers on board. One of the things we'd love to do is partner with these small business owners to bring those customers to their stores to transact with them. So if you're a coffee shop, we get our users to come to your store, buy coffee from you. If you're a donut shop, we buy donuts from you, right? If you're a retailer selling t-shirts and shorts and flip-flops, we want all of our users to go and know that you're there to serve them, not just for their t-shirt needs or flip-flop needs, but also for their internet access needs. So I think that's sort of the power, I think, of our community, along with Solana, is that both the Solana ecosystem and the Helium ecosystem is massive. Helium alone has over 200,000 developers on board. Solana has even more than that. And so when you think about that and you can combine the power of those two ecosystems, you got to know we are fully leveraging and asking our community to support us. One of the ways they can support us, subscribe to Helium Mobile, but right, in addition to that, go to the stores in Miami. If you live in Miami, check out these businesses that are part of the network supporting us. Right. Go there and transact with them. And so I think from a small business perspective, and I'm guessing here, but I'm guessing most entrepreneurs and small businesses focus on their thing. They want more business. They want more people coming in, whether they're selling pizza, beer, or donuts. It doesn't matter. They want to have more transactions. And so I think for us, beyond the crypto, that's the big piece here.
Would there ever be a potential there to take these retailers and just add them to the process of the sign up? Because I'm sure they're going to you're going to have some branding elements there, and people could say, "Oh, wait a minute, there's a $5 mobile plan here in Miami. How do I get that?" Kind of thing. Anything there?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. So again, we're open to all ideas. Again, we're very unconventional, so we're not necessarily just thinking, "Oh, we need to sell our phone plans at Walmart." That's not necessarily true. Because we're such a hyper local service provider, maybe what we should do is allow the ability to sell, internet access and wireless subscription at the corner store while you're buying a cup of coffee, while you're visiting your friend at a hotel. Why not? It's $5 a month, unlimited, right? And it works nationwide. So to me, I think the value prop is there. And I think as we think about the inflation in the economy, as we think about everything becoming more expensive, and we think about how do we actually find ways to trim costs, a $5 cell plan that works everywhere in the country for folks in Miami, I think that's a big deal. Like, why wouldn't you sign up? You save a lot of money per year, I think.
How long can this sustain, though? I look at every other cell plan out there. There's nobody even close to this, and I think, all right, is this a gimmick? How long can Helium Mobile hold a $5 plan?
Yeah, it's absolutely not sustainable. If we can't get small businesses and our community members to actually install Helium Mobile hotspots in high traffic areas in a dense way where there's a lot of these Wi-Fi hotspots, this is not sustainable. Like, again, as I mentioned before, we're testing things and we're figuring things out. And
Right.
what we want to do is bring value to consumers that work within the Helium ecosystem. We want to bring them value today. And I can't think of a better way than to enable them with a $5 a month plan that
Oh yeah, for
works
sure.
across the United States, right? And so that's like point number one, right? Point number two, we need small businesses to get hotspots up and running, providing that service. If you think about it, and it's not about volumes. I don't need hundreds of thousands of cell towers. I need cell towers in the best locations where subscribers can connect and use that internet. The more that occurs, the less costly it is for us to operate. The more
Yeah.
likely we can scale this, right?
Mm-hmm. I look at this, I think of, retail operations. We're seeing a lot of this in the loyalty space for NFT integration.
Mm.
You look at what Starbucks has been able to do with Odyssey, McDonald's is starting to roll out some things. We're starting to see retailers take that Web3 step. I just wonder if you could integrate a $5 a month plan into a loyalty package that would, because that brings them back to the store anyway, so they're going to be utilizing the service. So it's kind of a win-win there. You get somebody that does that who maybe has tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of customers in an area like, especially here in Miami, that has multi-chain units. That could get very intriguing pretty quickly, especially if you get a retailer that gets successful at it, because then it'll be like wildfire. So I don't know, that would be an interesting one for sure. All right, Frank, last thing to you, and that is roadmap. Anything new coming down the pipe that we need to be ready for coming out of Helium Mobile?
We do. We have a ton of things new. I don't think I can talk to any of those things, Paul. But what I do want to share, I just can't talk about it yet. They're definitely coming down the pipeline. I think in the next couple of weeks, you're going to start to hear about a lot of things. We are happy to brief you on those. What I think is important for your listeners to know is this. There is a $5 plan in Miami right now, Miami-Dade County, and it's unlimited data, voice, text. I think there's a cap on it as an asterisk, okay? Mm-hmm. I don't remember if it's 30 gigs or 50 gigs, something like that. Now, it works nationwide. So you can literally walk outside of the county and the service works. There's no catch, all right? Just want to clear that piece up. The other thing is get the Helium Mobile hotspot. It's $249. You put it in a store. Don't put that in your garage or in your closet. That doesn't help anyone. Put it in a store where there's lots of foot traffic, people loitering, hanging out, using Instagram, Snap, TikTok, watching YouTube, whatever. Get it in that location. You'll earn more rewards. We are going to launch a ton of advertising in the market in Miami-Dade County. Look for that. That's coming. Join us. Be a part of it. Come ask us if you have great ideas, Paul. By the way, Paul, your idea is great. We're going to do that. We're actually talking about it, so I can't call it the Baron coupon or the Baron incentive because we're already working on that. But
I like it.
Imagine if you see these ads, hey, use it, leverage us, contact us. You can reach us at, I think it's hello@novolabs.com or something like that.
All right.
But check it out. I mean, we need every small business owner, not just in Miami-Dade County. Ultimately, we need every small business owner in the United States.
Yeah, sure.
And I think I can't think of a better time than this when inflation's out of control. Small business owners feel like they're not getting any help. I mean, this is the perfect time for us. So we're going to keep building the tech, make it better and better, easier and easier, cheaper and cheaper, and add value to our users right away.
No problem. Hey, Frank, it's been great having you today. I'm going to be watching this very closely because I'm intrigued with what you guys are doing. So as usual, you guys are always on top of it and out in front for sure. But thanks for stopping in today. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for having me.
You bet. All right. So guys, if you're not in our Diamond Circle, you want to get in on that. It's one of our inside secrets here at PBN. It's where we drop some additional podcasts on Web3. We have some TA videos over there that only arrive in the Diamond Circle via our email list. All you have to do is click the link down below. It's very simple to get in and it's free. Best thing you can do, reach out to me. Hit me out there on X, which is just @PaulBaron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.